Hello, beautiful people. Thank you so much for tuning in, watching, and listening. This is going to be the November 2022 reading for the zodiac sign of Aries. As always, my readings are very intuitive, so I'll provide you with any intuitive messages that I receive, as well as the meaning of the tarot cards. I do, however, recommend you check out your sun, moon, and rising just to get a full picture of everything that's going on for you this month. And if you haven't done so already, please do subscribe to my YouTube channel. When you subscribe, that helps me greatly, and you'll be notified when I post new content. Let's go ahead and get started, though. In column number 1, we're going to take a look at what's wrapping up and coming to a close, so last few weeks or month. Column number 2, we're going to take a general look at what's coming for the month of November. We're going to do a money column, a love column, and in the 5th and final column, we're going to do a message from our future self or spirit guides, something to carry into the month of November with us. We're also going to do 3 yes or no questions, a healing crystal, and a healing note for you. But again, column number 1, what's wrapping up and coming to a close, we have a summary card of connection. I really like to see this, Aries. This is a new connection that was recently created. It's a very human connection, too. This is about being open and being vulnerable and connecting to somebody on a human level. This could be family, friend, love interest, you name it. Again, some sort of new connection created these last few weeks. Let's see what messages we've got coming through here, though. Interesting pairing with that Empress and Emperor card there back to back. But first we have the Empress. I really like the Empress card no matter where it comes up in the readings. It is a card of abundance and a card of creation. Both two really, really wonderful things. This is an abundance of happiness, love, energy, money, whatever, you name it. So in abundance. And it's also a card of creation. In this scenario, likely the creation of that new relationship, of that new connection. But 2 things, again, we love abundance and creation. This is also a card of fertility or pregnancy, so some of you could have found out that you're expecting, or there could be a new grandbaby on the way, or even a new pet. Sometimes those come through with that fertility look. The next card that we have is the Emperor, building off of that fertility pregnancy. That very well could be with the Emperor, because this is a parenting father card as well. This, though, is a card of respect, a card of strategic planning. I do think for some of you this could have been a love interest, just given that it's Emperor and Empress paired together. But it's very respectful. Again, that vulnerability left us and led us to this wonderful relationship, this new connection. And it seems like this new connection's here to stay. At the bottom, we have the 5 of Swords. The 5 of Swords is a card of bully, theft, violence, abusive relationship, some sort of toxic relationship. It's interesting because the message I'm getting is like, look at this new wonderful relationship, but it's this crappy one that led us here. So I know that's an interesting message, Aries, but if it wasn't for this crappy relationship, we wouldn't have been vulnerable. We wouldn't have had the ability to make this kind of human connection. So interesting message, but I like where we're going with this. Let's clarify and see what other information I can give you here. Okay, the first clarifier we have is the 6 of Pentacles. This is a card of giving or receiving help. It's very balanced. It's generous. And that's this relationship. That's this new connection. Sorry, the cat is coming to say hello here. But with this 6 of Pentacles, it's give and take again. It's a nice sense of balance, a nice sense of generosity between. And it's like because you're creating and you have the ability to obtain the things you want, like you can give and you can receive at the same time, and neither are draining you. The next card that we have is the 3 of Swords. The 3 of Swords is a card of heartbreak, loss, divorce, depression. This is again that crappy relationship that led us through. The interesting thing though about the 3 of Swords is this is also a card of healing. It's like pulling the sword from your own heart type energy. So I do think there's going to be a lot of healing in this new connection through this new relationship. You'll have the ability to heal. So like to see that. And then at the bottom here, we have the 7 of Swords. So again, kind of another echo of that crappy relationship. The Seven of Swords is theft, betrayal, dishonesty. Pairs ever so nicely with the Five of Swords, unfortunately. But if you take a look here too at this card, this person is like walking away. And again, this is this crappy relationship leading you to this new connection. So really neat energy, like to see. We're going to say goodbye to our sweet kitty here so we can continue. But let's take a look at our next column now, Aries, which is just in general what's coming for November. We have the card Stretch. This is an interesting one. All of the readings actually I've done this month have had stretch in some form, but this is like pushing a little bit further to accomplish the things that you want. It's a little extra nudge, that little extra stretch that you may need to get something done. So just keep that in mind. You may need that little extra push, that little extra nudge, that little extra stretch going into November. But let's see what cards we've got here. Also a nice pairing here. First card we have is the Ace of Pentacles, Aries. Anytime we have an ace card, it's a card of newness. In this case, it's new job, raise, promotion, investment, income. Very much so a money card. So I like to see this. This is new money coming in. Again, you may have to work a little bit harder for it. You may have to stretch a little bit further for it. But this seems promising. This looks really good here. The next card that we have is the World card. The World card is the last card in the Major Arcana. It's a card of completing a goal, completing a lesson. I feel like this is you completing or leaving a job for this new opportunity, or ending some stream of income to pursue this new stream of income. There's some completion coming this month in November, which is very nicely and very much so aligned with the new money with the Ace of Pentacles. And at the bottom here, we have the Two of Pentacles. This also is very, very fitting. This is a card of having to make a decision. And as you can see, this person's almost like weighing these between their hands. So it's weighing your current situation with the new opportunity. But I do see many, many, many of you Aries pursuing this new opportunity, which looks promising. Again, we have that ending card there and the decision card. Let's see what other information I can give you here. The first clarifier we have is the Knight of Cups. The Knight of Cups is a card of Prince or Princess Charming. It's a card of proposals, which in this case it does seem like it's going to be some sort of new money proposal versus a love proposal. But this is like, how do I want to say this? This is exactly what you're looking for, Aries. This is like the most beautiful, pristine, perfect opportunity. It's coming through as the Knight in Shining Armor, or Prince or Princess Charming, which is just like the perfect opportunity, I guess is what I'm trying to say there. So this new Ace of Pentacles is going to be very, very appealing. The next card we have is the Queen of Swords. This is a card of being very self-sufficient. Interestingly enough, when we talk about self-sufficiency and money, I always like it. It doesn't mean you have to be self-sufficient, but you have the ability to be self-sufficient. So this is moving you towards that position of being more self-sufficient. This is also about you living your truth. That's an interesting message. But that's what's coming through with this Queen of Swords, is this ending a new opportunity. This is you. This is who you want to be. This is where you want to go. Again, it's living your truth, fulfilling your path. And then at the bottom here, we have the Wheel of Fortune. For those of you that have watched my readings before, you know I love the Wheel of Fortune. The Wheel of Fortune is good fortune. It's turning point. It's good luck. So definitely good fortune, good luck, lots of good things coming with this opportunity. We're at the turning point. And again, I do think many of you are going to make the decision to turn the corner and go for this new opportunity. Now let's take a look at anything related to money. Think job, career, finances, businesses you may run, investments you may have, anything that you associate with money. The first card that we have is the Seven of Cups. The Seven of Cups is a card of having lots and lots of different things going on. If you take a look at this card, there's something different in every cup. So this is very busy. So in general, I feel like you're coming into a busy November, Aries. This can also be a card, though, of having trouble making a decision because there's so many different things going on. So do keep that in mind. Be clear on what you want. Make sure you're committing to what you want, because sometimes we get non-committal when everything is swirling around us like this. The next card that we have is the Temperance card. The Temperance card is a card of balance, harmony, moderation, all wonderful things. I like to see this balance and harmony coming into your career and money perspective, because it feels a little wonky, and this is saying it's going to kind of be on the mends for you. So we're coming out of busy time, settling back in. We're getting to a place that feels better for us. Moderation is big too, because again, we've been so crazy busy, so there's some moderation in the workload there. At the bottom, we have the Page of Wands. The Page of Wands is new. It's active. It's new project, new creative idea. Again, I do feel like through all the craziness, we're still going to be pursuing this new money opportunity, which in return is going to be giving us that balance, that harmony, that moderation we're going for. Let's clarify here, though. The first card we have is the Fool card. The Fool card is the first card in the Major Arcana. It's taking chances. It's going on a new path, beginning, adventure. So again, I do feel like a lot of you are going to pursue this new opportunity. Unfortunately, it's going to be kind of swirling in all the chaos and all the other thing that's happening. But don't let that derail you. Stay focused, and more importantly, Aries, commit to whatever this new beginning is. No non-committal energy. The next card that we have is the Seven of Pentacles. The Seven of Pentacles is a card of patience, hard work, delayed success. You look at this card, and this person planted their pentacles, and now they're just sitting there waiting for them to grow. So this is something you've been waiting for. This is something you've been working towards, and it's just taken time for it to come to fruition. You've had to patiently wait for this opportunity, for this new proposal, for this new income. And at the bottom here, we have the Five of Wands. The Five of Wands is a card of rivalry, obstacles, challenges. If you look here, these people aren't fighting with swords, they're fighting with wands. So I always like to describe this as small bumps in the road. I feel like people could be like challenged or upset that you are leaving or pursuing the new opportunity, but you really need to focus on you and what you want here. This just seems to be kind of an adverse reaction from some people around you, but it's not about the people around you, Aries, it's about you. So take that for what it's worth. Now let's take a look at our next column, which is anything related to love. Think family, friends, relationship, children, marriage, whatever you associate with love. First card that we have is the King of Cups. The King of Cups is very supportive, very tolerant, very empathetic. This is giving me you vibes, Aries. And this is like, you need to overcome whatever love situation is happening. That's the message I have for you. Of course, we're going to clarify that. But you need to overcome whatever, let me clarify that even further. You need to overcome whatever love limitation that's happening. The next card that we have is the Nine of Pentacles. The Nine of Pentacles is typically a money card, but this is a very you-focused card and a very self-sufficient card. So I do feel like some of you are going to be having a very strong, independent, single month, Aries. I don't know that I see a lot of new love energy coming in here. Again, this is you doing you. This is you overcoming any obstacles you have on your own. It's very self-sufficient. Or even if you are in a relationship, this feels like a you month. Like, it doesn't mean your relationship's going to end or anything, but it feels very independent. The next card that we have is the Queen of Cups. The Queen of Cups is very nurturing, very healing, very supportive. Again, we need to overcome whatever love limitation is here, and that seems to be happening with the Queen of Cups. Again, this is that healing, this support, this overcoming type energy. So I like to see a nice pairing of cards here through this column. Let's clarify and see what other information we've got going on here. The first card that we have is the Temperance card. The Temperance card is a card of balance, harmony. This is also a self card though. It's like a card of self-control. And again, this is overcoming some love limitation for you this month, but it's like, you need to dip your toe in the water. What we're seeing here in the Temperance, we need to initiate this. We need to begin this overcoming. so we can get to this point of balance and harmony and get you to the place where you want to be. The next card that we have is the Tower card. Some of you just don't like what I said to you, and that's fine. Sometimes that's how it happens, Aries. The Tower card, though, is like saying it's not the situation you wanted it to be. So in terms of being in a relationship and having to be self-sufficient, you would rather not be, and that's fine. Or some of you were hoping that if you're single, this is going to be the month of relationship. Again, this isn't quite what you want to hear, but it is going to be a very self-sufficient month, whether you're in a relationship or not. At the bottom here, we have the Six of Cups. The Six of Cups is a very nostalgic card. It's a card of reflection. They're just past things that we need to heal from. You have the Queen of Cups, which is a card of healing. This is saying there are past events. Again, there's some love limitation or obstacle here, Aries, that needs to be overcome this month. Okay, now let's move on to our fifth and final column, which is a message from our future self or spirit guide, something to carry into the to carry into the month of November with you. We have the card Absence. This is going to really be a nice continuation of what we were just talking about in that self-sufficiency. The Absence card is a card of like kind of pulling away and doing you and taking care of you. And it's interesting because if you look at the definition of this card, and people for whatever reason think of that selfish, but this is not at all selfish energy. This is, again, you taking a step back and you doing for you this month, Aries. Always like to see that, but let's see what messages I can give you in this last column here. All right. The first card we have is the Eight of Swords. The Eight of Swords is a card of kind of isolation. Again, this is you pulling yourself back, withdrawing just a tiny bit, Aries, so you can get done what you need to get done to get yourself where you need to be. Of course, that absence and isolation card pair quite nicely together. The next card that we have is the Seven of Pentacles. The Seven of Pentacles is a card of waiting, a card of patience. It's hard work, delayed success. I feel like you've been waiting for this moment. You've been waiting for the opportunity. The time hasn't been right until now, and now is the time. But it's saying, like, you couldn't have really done this before. It has to happen now. And at the bottom here, we have the Ten of Cups. For those of you that have watched my readings before, you know the Ten of Cups is my favorite card in the entire deck. It is a card of everything wonderful. It's a card of family, contentment, total love, and support. Again, is a thing of all things great. And I used to not feel that good about contentment. Contentment didn't mean anything to me, Aries. But now I realize how hard it is to accomplish contentment. And that's why I have such new, valuable appreciation for it. So this withdrawal, this absence is going to help you get to this point where you're feeling the Ten of Cups, where you're feeling contentment, where you're feeling love and support. Let's clarify, though, and see what other messages we've got here. The first card that we have is the Seven of Wands. The Seven of Wands is a card of having to protect yourself or defend yourself. Some of you may be in the position where people are going to like kind of ask why you've withdrawn, why you've pulled back, but I don't know that you need to defend yourself. You can. More than anything, I feel like people are like questioning, like, where have you been? Why don't you want to come out? That kind of stuff. The next card that we have is the Six of Swords. I'm a big fan of the Six of Swords, even though it looks a little gloomy. You have everybody facing away from us. Their heads are hanging low. Their swords stuck in the boat. But this is part of the necessary transition. Again, this was what you were waiting for. It couldn't have happened before now. And now the transition is happening for you. At the bottom here, we have the Five of Cups. The Five of Cups is a card of low feelings. It's loss, regret, feeling abandoned, feeling unloved. And again, this is the healing. This is the feelings we need to go through. This is what we're getting over. This is what we're overcoming. And on the other side, then you have the Ten of Cups, which is a card of total love, total support, unconditional love, unconditional support. So total 180 of the feelings that are holding you down to the feelings that you will have. So I really like November for you, Aries. This is a goodie. At this time, I'm going to give you the opportunity to ask 3 yes or no questions. We're going to use our Gypsy Witch fortune telling deck. If you don't have 3 questions in mind, you can pause the video and think of them really quick. But question number 1 is the Nine of Hearts. This is the number 16 card. That's going to be a yes. Question number 2 is the 5 of spades. This is number 6 card. That's going to be a no. And question number 3 is the ace of clubs. This is number 31 card. That's going to be a no. So yes, no, no for you, Aries. We're also going to pull a card from our Healing Stones deck, which is a crystal to keep with you through the month of November. You have Emerald, which is good for harmony and beauty. It opens you up, going back to that connection there. It's very revitalizing and gives you a sense of togetherness. And last but not least, we're going to pull a card from our Healing Notes deck. Your Healing Note says, be thankful for all things in your life, for they have opened your eyes to the good things you weren't paying attention to before. Thank you so much, Aries, for tuning in, watching, and listening. Please do like, comment, subscribe. Let me know how this video resonates with you. Again, subscriptions help me greatly, and you'll be notified when I post new content. Also, I did include my Venmo in the comments box if you'd like to make a donation. But thank you so much, Aries, and I hope you have a wonderful November.